Hello Rainbow Die. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Today's card project is all about popping up a rainbow, and I love to do this, and we are going to use a little bit of our friend Press and Seal. The card I'm creating today features some fabulous dies from My Favorite Things stamps, and I am creating a card to celebrate Pride. To see that card project, stick around, it's coming up next. Here's a look at the card project I'll be creating in today's video, but the little dotted outline around the hearts, that was an afterthought. I like how the final card turned out, but I didn't do that until the card was done for a few hours. So you won't see me do it in the video, but trust me, it happened. I have proof. Let's take a look at the products I'm using today. This die is fantastic, and I've got my Love Is and the Love Is die shadows. I grabbed a whole slew of cardstock, mostly from Concord and 9th, and then I have a little Neenah Solar White Classic Crest. And we're going to do a whole mess of rainbow strips. Now, the cool thing about this is you can get so many different rainbows because you have all these different pieces, right? Once everything's cut out, but then the secret, press and seal. So I wanted to lay all of these in, and I thought the best way was to slap down a little press and seal, flip it over, and then I had a low tack way to add all of these rainbows in together, perfectly lined up in the negative space. Also, I had to cut some lavender, and that up there is from Gina K Designs. That's lovely lavender. But this is just one out of many rainbows. You just would alternate the order, right, based on the size. And this is such a quick way to get them all lined up. But the reason I wanted to do it this way is I like to pop up a paper-pieced rainbow, right? I think it's cool when you can do that. So once you have all of this in place and it's burnished down, and I just take my bone folder to really give it a good press, then look at all that extra. I'm not making extra cards today, but you have a bunch to do things with, right? But what I decided to do was take a second piece of press and seal before I took the other piece off, right? Lay it down, press it, smooth it, burnish it so that it stays adhered. Then I'm going to take the backer off, right, that I created. And I'm doing this so that now I can tape all of these pieces together so they will be like one big die cut. And I just grabbed some Post-it tape for this, right? Just any tape you have, but I thought this was great because the Post-it tape is almost the perfect width to hold them all together. And I just cut little pieces until they were all covering the back. Then, when I take off the press and seal from the front, as you'll see, I now have a standalone rainbow ready for placement and popping up. I cut the letters and hearts out off camera along with the shadow layers, and I'm going to use the shadow layers that overlap the letters. I grabbed a little bit of the micro dot adhesive from Simon Says Stamp, popped my letters down in here. I'm not doing anything with extra dimension. I'm just adding the adhesive, burnishing it on, and then layering them down onto the shadow layers. And I thought it was kind of cool to have one color, essentially this matte gold, because I didn't want to upstage the rainbow. I wanted it to feel a little more harmonious. And so that's why I chose to go just with the gold letters, and then the hearts, that red cardstock matches the cardstock in the rainbow. So I repeated those letters and all the placement looked good. And I decided I was going to add a little dimension to my hearts using the same color ink as the cardstock. I don't often do ink blending onto die cut pieces, and I should do this more often. You use the same color or a similar color, and it's just a great way to add a little depth and dimension. So I just quickly added those for a little shading and shadowing. The next step was to line up my greeting, and I used my grid for this, and then again brought in the press and seal. It is such a great tool for crafters, right? It's going to help me to perfectly place my greeting. I'm popping down a panel that's trimmed just a little bit smaller than the card base itself, just out of some white cardstock, and I've already got my foam tape on the back of my rainbow, and then the greeting is going to lay over like that. So I took off my foam tape, which also serves to solidify that rainbow, right? Hold it, make it a little more sturdy. And then I added liquid glue to the back. This is Connect glue from Gina K Designs in one of her squeeze bottles. And I do this just to have a little more wiggle room and playtime. I brought in my T-square ruler from Simon Says Stamp, pressed it right up against the edge of the cardstock at the bottom, just to help me get that base lined up perfectly. This is why I like to press and seal for this, because you can overlay it, you can see exactly what you're doing, and yet everything is held into place. I got a little too much glue there. Sometimes I'm an overadheser. Anyway, I'm going to keep dotting on the liquid glue, even though I know it's not going to stick in the center. I just did the whole thing. And then I'm hovering, I'm looking through the press and seal, and I can easily see where to line up, right? A little hanging off there and a little hanging off to the right. Just a gentle tap and press. And let that adhere, give it a few minutes so that the liquid glue can really grab to the cardstock below. And then you can peel and reveal. Have to be very dainty here. I actually lifted a little bit of the E because there really wasn't much grabbing on there. But how fun is that? Just right onto the rainbow. Then we'll take a little liquid glue. Again, I got way too much there, so I thought I would do a quick little shortcut here. Took the backer off and did a quick glue kiss, but kind of got a little... I shouldn't do these things over the card because when I pulled it away, glue went flying, and if you can see in the lower left, I got some on my card, which I didn't notice right away, but don't worry, we're going to wipe it away. But I'm popping that right down onto the space for the heart, and oh, there we go. See, found it. Wiped it off. Whew, day saved. And popping that right down. Now this is before I had the thought to draw on the lines, right? I thought this was really cute, but then I asked my daughter, who was sitting just off camera, and said, do you think I should put a dotted outline on this? She goes, well, it couldn't hurt. So this was the finished card project until after I took the pictures, and then I sat down again and I channeled my inner Christina Werner and did my best. Now, my pen skills aren't the best, but I think it really does tie it together with the stitching in the rainbow. I hope this inspires you to pop up rainbows and, most importantly, celebrate love. I'll see you back here with another card project soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.